Shima. It is Thursday, December 30th, 2010, and you are watching The Four of Us.
Sorry about the mess.
Why don't you pound snow, doll?
Gotta keep a low profile.
They'll be watching The Four of Us.
You didn't want PI, you want some pastry to pin it on.
The biggest news of today is that I'm home! I'm visiting home from Boston for the holidays. Now, one of the things I always notice when I come home is that everything changes and nothing changes all at the same time. Now, everything is the same in that when I come home, the minute I get off of that train and walk in this house, it's like opening up a time capsule. As soon as I walk inside, I'm surrounded by Bee, Benny, the professor, my mom, my dad. All 200 of our rescue pets are wandering around the house or hiding in nooks and crannies. There's always something amazing cooking in the kitchen, which is great because the last thing I want to do after getting off the train is cook for 6 people. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to cook, but there's a reason I'm not the one with the vegan cooking show. And I have a walk through the house, and I keep seeing projects that my siblings and I worked on when we were younger. And of course, we're embarrassed by them now, because we know that if we had a second chance to do them over, we'd be able to do them better, because we're older and we've had more time to properly develop the skills that would have been helpful the first time around. But at the same time, on all of the projects, each mistake that you made that you can still see has like a memory attached to it of maybe a lesson learned or something. So the projects just get progressively better as we got older. And then I come up to my room and I see all of the projects that I worked on in high school and either completed and decided not to take with me to Boston or didn't have time to finish, so I had to leave them behind. Now, the things about my home that are always changing are the projects. I mean, in my head, when I leave and go back to Boston, everything, they all just sit in frozen animation waiting for me to return. But I know that's really not actually the case. Because as much as like Benny and the professor would love to just, chill out and await my return in between my voyages from Boston to home, life goes on without me in the Roberts house. So when I re-enter the house, I look around and there's always maybe a new painting that's in progress or a jewelry project that's underway. Someone's bought a new instrument that they're now learning to play. Maybe someone wants to learn a second or third language, so there are books on French or sign language up in the library. This weekend when I got home, we had a new fish. I had heard about Myron through Bee's vlogging, but I had never actually met Myron in person, so that was new and different for me. Another change was that when I went down to the basement, my Irish dance floor had been converted into a home gym. That was new and a little dramatic for me, but you know what? I'm not dancing anymore, and so you've got to make room for a new project. And this is just the way that it has always been. I mean, I can't remember a time growing up that I was not surrounded by arts and crafts supplies. Making things and having projects was always just a part of life. Nothing was ever a huge undertaking. You were always just working on something. And self-help books were always a big winner around here, especially when a child wanted to learn how to do something that a parent did not know how to do, and the parent did not want to crush the child's dreams or pay for expensive lessons. In such cases, autodidactism was strongly encouraged. Now, my mom is an artist. So with every house we have ever lived in, the walls have been covered with her paintings. And my dad is a musician, so there were always instruments around the house with which we could experiment. And occasionally the kids would start something that later our parents would become interested in. Like when the 4 of us were learning martial arts. I know by the end of our 6 years with 2 different dojos, both of our parents had gone to at least one martial arts class. I'm pretty sure that the ridiculous amount of pets that we have was also a child-inspired idea. I believe I started that one. As punny as it is, I always really wanted a cat, and that later spurred the I want to rescue an animal of my very own movement among the 4 of us. It's okay, they don't hold it against me. Mom and Dad love the kitties. To be entirely honest, I think they prefer the fish. So anyway, I hope this video wasn't too obnoxiously personal. I kind of felt like I talked about myself a lot. So I am leaving to enjoy the rest of the time that I have off from school. And B, technically I will see you in the next 5 minutes. Bye Sarah, bye Lily. So, bye for now.